Hi everybody, it's Gia. Welcome to my channel, or if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I would like to talk about 7 books that have completely changed my life. Last year I challenged myself to read 50 books throughout the year, and I'm also trying to do a similar thing this year and read another 50 books. So in the last year and a bit, I have read probably close to 70 books, all of varying topics, but the main ones have always been things like finances, budgeting, money saving, minimalism, simple living, psychology, so those sorts of things that really interest me. And through reading those books, I've gained so much valuable knowledge and insight into all these different things, and so I would like to share with you my top 7 books out of 70 or so books that I've read in the last year and a bit that have really impacted and changed my life, and I would love to pass on these recommendations to you. So the first book I would like to recommend is Atomic Habits by James Clear. Now this is a classic book and a lot of you may have already heard of it or read it, and the basic theme of this book is every single day you can get 1% better. It proves you can just take small steps to begin with that then turn into bigger steps later on down the line. Because it's so easy to make a bad habit, isn't it? And so hard to make a good habit. But this book is all about making good habits while eliminating the bad habits. Because eventually, no matter how small the steps, you are still making progress and you're working towards a bigger picture and a bigger goal. Really good practical book with just lots of good advice and tips and just how to make habits stick for you. The next book I would like to recommend is Mindful Money by Kenna Campbell. So I just finished this book today actually, and I was really impressed because I'm trying to learn more about investing, and she has managed to just explain in layman's terms, simple terms, how this all works. So she's all about financial independence and how to make your money work for you, and how to compound interest over time, how to invest in stocks, how to create a constant stream of passive income, which I think a lot of us who are in the financial independence movement, that's what we want to do, isn't it? We just want our money to work for us, to be able to choose when we retire, to be able to pick when we work and where we work, and all those sorts of things. It's a big read. I think it's it's over 300 pages. So it's a hefty read and you do need to be paying attention. So I did find a few times my concentration was broken and I was having to reread sections. But it's a really good practical book. It's very much like the meat and potatoes of finances. It's just to the point. She's got lots of really good advice and tips about managing your finances, how to make your money grow and work for you. And I think it's just a really good, solid read. So basically, the contents of it, she talks about how to achieve financial freedom, what your freedom number is, money mindset, how to bank properly, how to save money properly, when you have extra cash, where do you put it, stocks and shares, share portfolios, property, if you're interested in purchasing property, how that all works, your money and your priorities, so where it all goes, if you have children, how to help them manage their money and teach them about money. So it's just a really good, solid finance advice book in my opinion, and I would highly recommend getting yourself a copy and having a read. The next one I'm going to recommend is probably one of the most well-known finance books of all time for very good reason, and that is The Barefoot Investor. So most people will know about this book, particularly people in Australia. I don't know about internationally, but yeah, there's a reason this book is so popular, because it explains in the most simplest terms how money all works and how investing all works. I love the way Scott Pape writes because it's so, if you're Australian, it's very ochre, it's very down to earth and just like you're having a conversation with a mate down at the pub. It's very much written in that sort of format. So it's very easy to read. A lot of times when it comes to money, a lot of us are very scared of how it all works, so we just stick our heads in the sand and just hope for the best. He basically talks about how easy money actually is when you break it down, and step by step. He explains in step-by-step processes how to make all your money work for you, how it all works, and how to invest. If you're going to buy property, how to do that. So it's just so, this is by far one of the most practical guides to money that I've come across, and I would highly recommend, if you're Australian or not, grabbing yourself a copy of The Barefoot Investor if you've not read it already, and just get stuck into it, because really it is such a good book, and I reckon I'll be coming back to this time and time again. He has concepts such as scheduling monthly date nights to talk about money with your significant other, or even just if you're single by yourself, and just getting that budget and all that in motion. Next, he talks about setting up your buckets, so where your money's going in different sections, how to domino your debts, how to double and grow your income, how to buy a home, how to increase your superannuation, how to boost your income through compound interest, how to find out what your retirement number is and how much you actually do need to retire, and then how to pass this money knowledge down to your children and to help them invest in their futures as well. Highly recommended read, this one. Now, the next book I'm going to recommend is my all-time favourite book. So I've already touched on this book before on my channel, and for good reason, because this book, Your Money or Your Life, is honestly such a good read. This book is all about achieving financial independence and following a 9-step program in order to achieve that. The questions that they ask in the book include, do you have enough money? Are you spending enough time with friends and family? Do you come home from your job full of life? Do you have time to participate in things that you believe are worthwhile? If you were laid off from your job, would you see it as an opportunity? Are you satisfied with the contribution you've made to the world? Are you at peace with money? Does your job reflect your values? Do you have enough savings to see you through 6 months of normal living expenses? Is your life whole? Do all the pieces, your job, your expenditures, your relationships, your values, fit together? It's all about using money as the tool that it is to be able to achieve what you find fulfilling in your life. I like that it takes you back to basics and just explains things again very simply, step by step, and just basically shows you how to program your life into being able to save money to afford you the opportunities to do what it is you actually want to do and to reach financial independence sooner rather than later. I like the theme that it's about freedom. It's about being able to choose and pick and just decide what it is that you want from life and using money as the tool to get there. It has really good themes and concepts like how much are you trading your life energy for? So every time we go to work and the commute there, we're spending time. So time is something we can't get back. So we need to make sure that what we're doing is worth our time. It's all about fulfillment and satisfaction and contentment and freedom. Absolutely recommend this book. Grab a copy. If I was to recommend any book out of this list, this is the one that I would highly recommend the most. Now, the next book I don't have a physical copy of, but it is The Less Stress Lifestyle, Regain Control and Rediscover Happiness by Carl Vernon. The book is basically about how we are constantly under stress and constantly anxious and we're just go, go, go all the time and we don't really stop and just take in everyday life. The basic theme is taking a step back and actually evaluating what is truly important to you and what is just excess stress, what can you remove out of your life and what is worthwhile stress. He touches on themes like how to change your mindset, how to manage and reduce your stress, how to rediscover happiness, how to focus, how to think healthily and boost your confidence, how to find what actually brings you to life and makes you feel passionate, and as well as how to make your money work for you. So there is a financial aspect to this one as well. But it is a really good book and I was quite surprised with it. I was not really expecting anything really from reading it. It seemed quite unassuming when I first started reading it, and then I was absolutely really surprised how much I enjoyed it. So I would highly recommend The Less Stress Lifestyle by Carl Vernon. The next book I really enjoy, and I've already kind of touched on this book before in a previous video and its different themes, but I really, really enjoyed it. And it is Goodbye Things by Fumio Sasaki. And it's a fantastic book on minimalism. I think it is one of the best books on minimalism, if I'm being totally honest. And it has different themes like why minimalism is so good, how do we accumulate so much in the first place, 55 tips to help you say goodbye to your things, and how he sort of changed since getting rid of his things and how his life now is. And it just was a really good book. He's described as not an enlightened minimalism expert or an organizing guru like Marie Kondo. He's just a regular guy who was stressed out and constantly comparing himself to others until one day he decided to change his life by saying goodbye to everything he didn't absolutely need. So I love this concept so much. But by getting rid of his things, he was able to gain true freedom, new focus, and a real sense of gratitude for everything around him. He shares his experience and different tips on how to minimize your possessions and how it can transform not only your space, but can truly enrich your life. So if you're into minimalism, Goodbye Things is honestly, I think, the best book on the subject. Now, the final book I'm going to recommend is one that really took me by surprise, but it was one of the earliest books I read last year, and I was absolutely blown away by how profound I found it. I think it was written originally in the early 1900s, so it's a really old book, but its advice is still 100% relevant to today. I was reading through it and I was just so surprised. I was just like, wow, they were still going through that same stuff back in the early 1900s. This is still so relevant. And that book is The Joys of Living by Orison Swett Marden. So the author was someone who really was able to appreciate the significance of simple living and being able to take joy and appreciation in the smallest of things, which I absolutely love that concept. Not needing this extravagant, over-the-top thing to feel fulfilled and happy. He explores the concept of happiness and how to achieve a fulfilling life. It's divided into several chapters, each focusing on different aspects of life, such as health, wealth, relationships, and personal growth. He emphasizes the importance of a positive mindset, perseverance, and self-discipline in achieving success and happiness. He emphasizes the fact that our eyes are so focused upon the future, upon some goal in the beyond, that we do not see the beauty and the glory all around us. We get so accustomed to living in our imagination and anticipation that we lost so much of our power of enjoying the here and now. But yeah, that was a really good book that I really got a lot out of, and how to embrace the here and now and how to appreciate the small things that are just in our every single day life that are often overlooked. If you can get a hold of this book, I would highly recommend grabbing yourself a copy because it is so insightful and just a beautiful read, to be totally honest. But yes, those are my 7 book recommendations that I have picked out of around 70 books that I read in the last year and a bit. These were the most influential and helpful books that I read, and I've really gotten a lot out of them. So I'd like to pass these books on to you, and hopefully you enjoy them too if you so choose to read them. But yes, thank you so much for watching everyone, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!